Soccer comes your way here on ESPN+. After a successful road trip to start the season, the Abilene Christian Wildcats come home for the home opener. They'll take on a former conference foe, the New Mexico State Aggies, now in Conference USA. Welcome into Elmer Gray Stadium, the stage tonight for the Wildcats and the Aggies. Andy Penny alongside Charles Nobles. Glad you're with us. The Wildcats again 1-0, a 3-1 victory last weekend versus Jackson State. Trying to keep that momentum going here on the home pitch. They'll take on a New Mexico State team. Charles, rough weekend last weekend. They start 0-2.
Absolutely. Traveling out and playing two Power 4 schools in Arizona, Arizona State, but they're hungry and they're ready to come out here tonight and try to right the ship.
These two teams played last year in Las Cruces. New Mexico State the better of ACU, a 1-0 final last year. Charles, let's take a look at our impact players for tonight. Of course, for New Mexico State, that back line's going to play tough. Marley Cavett, the senior, she's big on the defensive line.
Absolutely. She started every game but one in her entire career at New Mexico State. She's a fast track athlete, winning the 100 and 200 meter, and just an absolute solid defensive player for them in the back line.
For Abilene Christian, this freshman group has been impressive already. Addie Briscoe, highly touted. She had a great debut, a goal and an assist in her first game.
What a first impact to come into college soccer, score a goal and an assist. She's so creative. She gets her teammates involved. She can take players on, and she'll be a key for them to be successful with her movement up top.
We take a look at what Addie did just the other night against Jackson State, that 3-1 victory. She scores the first goal, able to get some space down the left sideline and able to find the net in the far corner.
Absolutely. She finds her space out wide, like you said. Great build-up play by the rest of the Wildcats. She gets in. She's willing to take players on. She's going to cut in and then shoot. Great little finish.
Finds the far post, the first of 3 goals for the Wildcats that night. The final of those 3 goals, it's Briscoe again leading the charge. She gets the assist on this one.
Absolutely. I love the win out of the air for the Wildcats, and then she checks into space, finds a nice pocket, and then lays it off perfectly, and a great finish right here to cap off the victory.
The Wildcats only scored 3+ goals one time all season long last year. They've already done it here in 2026. They'll try it again against a great team in New Mexico State, the Aggies and the Wildcats. The starting lineups and the first kick on the other side here on ESPN+. And back here, Abilene, Texas, Abilene Christian University. It is a hot one today in Abilene. Still triple digits on the thermometers. We get this one underway. 101 degrees here at 7 o'clock Central, but we are ready for soccer. The Wildcats at 1-0, the Aggies at 0-2 here in the young season. Let's get 90 minutes on the pitch here at Elmer Gray Stadium. Andy Penny alongside Charles Nobles. Charles, we can take a look at those starting lineups here for the Aggies and the Wildcats. We'll start with the visitors here with head coach Rob Bartz.
Absolutely. Coach Bartz loves a 3-5-2. He loves to get service in up top to his players, so he's going to definitely rely on his width. He's very confident in his back line and what he has there, so now it's about how can he create more service up top for his forwards.
For the Wildcats, Coach Steven Salas has talked about more aggression offensively. This is his starting lineup here tonight.
Yeah, looking like a 3-4-3 with 8 and 24 going to help overload the midfield. They're going to look to control the ball a lot tonight, and their movement will help create numbers up in special spaces on the field.
The Wildcats will be in the purple jersey tops tonight. They'll move from south to north, right to left from our vantage point. The Aggies in the visiting whites, a little bit of an advantage here with this heat. I asked Steven Salas about that heat. I said, what do you think? He said, when you're from Texas and New Mexico, it's just another day on the pitch here in late August, and that's where we are here for these two teams. Of course, former WAC opponents, ACU and New Mexico State, so this is a series that has some history to it. New Mexico State with 3 wins in 5 tries, a 3-2 record over the Wildcats. Only the second time they've played here in Abilene. The first was in 2018, so they'll do it again here 8 years later. We are underway, the Aggies and the Wildcats.
It's interesting to see the start. You saw that a lot this summer in the World Cup. It's a lot of teams knocking the ball forward out of bounds just to get field position more and then just keeping the ball. Let's see what we can do with it now. Already starting to try to keep the ball around the back.
So we'll see Bella Medrano in goal for the Wildcats in the black jersey. That's south goal. Medrano, the sophomore, she's really solidified her place as the starter. She has activity in the box already, but the defensive line for the Wildcats able to clear. Nia Leslie up the far sideline.
Absolutely. A little bit of nerves at top at first, just trying to build up. But now we're getting forward finally, and obviously getting our impact player, our freshman Addie Briscoe, into the attack.
First touch for Briscoe, the freshman, highly touted Addie Briscoe. Again, already a goal here to debut on the pitch for the Wildcats. That 3-1 win on Saturday versus Jackson State. A neutral site game that they played in Shreveport. Wildcats able to get that 3-1 win.
You can already see New Mexico State playing 2 forwards up top, looking to get number 9, their Danish forward, the ball as much as they possibly can.
That's Kaluka Dalgard, who wears number 9 from Denmark.
I'll tell you, I've been impressed with number 5 for ACU already. Jenna, she's constantly won the ball, picked up in spaces, and has brought some calm into the midfield already.
Briscoe, the throw-in. New Mexico State getting up this near sideline. 9th season for head coach Rob Bartz. Of course, with this Aggie program when they were in the WAC, so he is very familiar with ACU and Abilene. So here on the near side now, Sydney Johnson, the grad student, the lone grad student for the Aggies.
Absolutely. You can already kind of see New Mexico's looking to win the ball, and their first look is forward. How can they get the ball to their forwards and play from there? And we have a nice little matchup in the back. It's going to be three Wildcats versus 2 players from New Mexico State constantly on the night.
This one pushed up, but back to the goalkeeper. That's Carol Ann LaFortune in goal for New Mexico State. She's the 5'7" senior.
Good press by Addie Briscoe, winning the ball up there. Pressure from the Wildcats results in a goal kick.
Now out on the in line, last touched there by KK, we'll call her. Brinica, number 3, the senior here, the transfer from San Diego.
You got to love the fact that both teams are already looking to take players on 1v1. They're already looking to see what weaknesses they can exploit and how they can get in behind.
Briscoe steals possession. Drop it into the corner for Leslie, trying to run it down on the in line. Can't quite do it. Another goal kick for New Mexico State.
Good. You're going to see the importance right here of the press and how Addie Briscoe is going to lead the Wildcats in pressing. And the more that she can put pressure on the defenders back there, the higher the ball, or higher up the field, the Wildcats are going to win the ball.
There's Marley Cabot near sideline, our impact player. Mexico State trying to keep possession. Eva Martin works with Sydney Johnson again here on the near sideline and back to Cabot. This is a high possession game. New Mexico State will get a throw in right at the midfield line.
Absolutely. You can already see New Mexico State, they're on the weak side, trying to sneak up the outside wing back to create more of a 1v1 everywhere across the back line. If they can switch the ball, it could be quite dangerous early on.
Touch for Amelia Miller, and now in the middle for the senior Bailey Simon, number 35. So we're just underway here at Elmer Gray, just a few minutes deep. The Wildcats again this year in the offseason really talked about getting some more offensive attack. Goals were hard to come by last year for the Wildcats. As a matter of fact, only one time all of last year, 3+ goals. They've already matched that with the 3-1 win on Saturday.
Absolutely. It's interesting because you think you want to score more goals and it's about the forwards, but instead Coach Salas has been really about building through the midfield and using Jenna and Bailey Simon to get on the ball more and to keep it for them.
Push forward again, but into the hands of LaFortune.
It looks like when New Mexico State loses the ball, they're definitely dropping into a back 4, which could create some more numbers for the Wildcats in the midfield.
Touch of Brenica and back into the hands of LaFortune again. Mexico State, a rough year last year, only 2 wins all season long, but that comes off the heels of 3 consecutive seasons with 10 or more wins, double-digit wins, dating back to their days of the WAC, conference champions in the WAC. Early success in Conference USA, but a bump in the road a year ago. Good ball control there in the middle of the field for the Wildcats.
Michaela's a transfer this year coming in from University of San Diego for the Wildcats. Is known for how solid she is on the ball and how technical she can be. And if we can look, we're going to start to see what Coach Salsa is kind of looking for here with the overloads. But New Mexico State with the win, and there goes our impact player from New Mexico State taking players on.
And Cabot with the center. It's cleared by the Wildcats. New Mexico State, again, 2 games thus far. A tough start with Arizona State and Arizona. The Sun Devils at home, and then on the road to Tucson to take on the Wildcats. 2 tough games out of the chute, and 2 losses, 3-1 and 2-0. Only 6 shots thus far through the 2 matches for New Mexico State.
You know, Coach Barrs talked about that as wanting to test his team against some of the best teams in the country. The goal is to get ready for conference and to be able to take on their tough conference and get back to the NCAA tournament by winning their conference tournament this year. And he said the only way to do that is playing as tough a preseason as you possibly can.
That's a tough start, Arizona State. Yeah, I'd say you're pretty quick. Let's get Amelia Miller again. Drops it back to Simon. And now Leah Anderson and Simon. Possession again. How crucial is possession here for the Wildcats?
The possession is going to be very big for the Wildcats tonight. If they're going to create opportunities and allow themselves to get numbers in the box, then they're going to have to keep the ball.
And Charles, let's take a look at some other keys to the game tonight here for ACU and New Mexico State.
Absolutely. From New Mexico State side, they have 2 fantastic forwards, so they want to create as much quality service in the box as they possibly can. And then last weekend, playing Arizona State, most of the goals happen is just through mental lapses, so they want to eliminate those. For ACU, taking care of transition, they want to keep the ball, but you're going to give it up. So how do you stay disciplined attacking? Disciplined defensively in transition, but then when they get it, can they take advantage of the opportunities? And finally, the amount of chances they get, they need to learn to exploit that and be efficient in front of goal. So if they can take care of that, I think those will be the keys to tonight's victory for either one of the squads.
Keys to the game. Yeah, possession tonight is going to be huge, and opportunities, you know, hard to come by. So take advantage of those opportunities when you can.
Well, and you know, you mentioned it earlier, but the heat tonight, right? And the heat is going to be a huge factor in wearing on these teams later on. So if the more you keep the ball, the more the other team is chasing. So if you can keep the ball, then you're going to not be as tired towards the end of the match as the other team will be. What a tackle there by Katie Gregson.
Gregson able to get possession here. Now Leslie loses it on the far sideline. A throw in for New Mexico State.
It's interesting. As soon as New Mexico State gets the ball, you almost see them pushing 4 high. They're pushing 2 out wide, and then their 2 central forwards. So it's almost a 4-2-4 with their outside backs expected to get into the attack a little bit. And here they go switching the play, getting it to their impact player, number 8.
Back in that back row. Nice move there. Kennedy Herrera, the 5'8 senior. Local product out of Las Cruces. Dropped in on the far side.
Here's what they're looking for. Can they get the ball out wide and create services or create corners? Last week's goal against Arizona State came off of a corner. So you know that that's going to be something that they're going to work on and have special type plays and movements to create opportunities for their height especially.
Another turnover on the far sidelines. Mexico State will keep it on the offensive end. A touch for Dalgard, again the 5'11 freshman out of Denmark. Highly touted, highly recruited and touted.
Absolutely. Coach Bartz was very, very complimentary of her ability to score goals from all types of service. The biggest thing is, can they get the services to her? You can see the advantage that she has in aerially, and she's already won a good one out there and been able to flick it on to their other forward. And here goes number 8 making a great run. Cavit's getting in.
Cavit will center the header just high. Medrano able to cover it far post. It's a good look there for New Mexico State.
Nia Leslie turning on the Jets there. I love it. Taking on a player 1v1, getting in, and then now keeping the ball for the Wildcats. Look at them switching the point of the attack. One of the things you'll see Coach Hollis loves to do is create overload, so how can he get players in certain spaces with numbers around the ball?
And we'll have our first corner here as Briscoe works with Herrera. Herrera off the end line. Our first corner will come the way of ACU. Wildcats had a few corner opportunities versus Jackson State, 2 the other night.
It's always interesting to see how teams set up, but they've had all this time to work on set pieces throughout the offseason. You know, corners are going to be a massive factor throughout the year. So, what kind of service? What a quality service!
Just over the head of Briscoe, and now out on the inline for a goal kick. So we're 10 minutes deep here, the home opener for the Wildcats. Good quality action here. Another look at that header.
Absolutely. And you'll notice Addie Briscoe's movement here to create her own space. She starts on the goalkeeper, drops out, just right over the top of her head. See, right here, we can already see it's almost a 2v1 out wide. Now New Mexico State gets numbers in, but if they can create advantage of this, then they're going to create another quality opportunity from the Wildcats.
Miller tries to square it up, can't save it on that inline, and another goal kick. A little bit more about the Wildcats. Of course, had great success here at Elmer Gray, especially early in the season. Coach Salas, his 4th year, remains unbeaten in the home openers at 2-0-1. The tie came a year ago. University of Tulsa. I thought Tulsa was the home opener last year.
Okay.
A scoreless tie a year ago.
That's right. I tell you, I still remember his first one against Lamar. What an exciting game that was.
Briscoe far sideline. Works through a double team. And a goal kick for the Aggies.
Once again, you see it. She's just not afraid to take players on. And as a freshman coming in with that confidence, you don't see that a lot of times. But Texas High School Player of the Year last year.
Smithson Valley High School down just outside of San Antonio. Yeah, 29-0-0 for her Ranger team at Smithson Valley High last year. Season that saw Briscoe score 41 goals, 21 assists. A 29-0-0 record, more than 100 goals in her high school career. And already won here in her ACU career. New Mexico State a throw in on the far sideline.
Yeah, New Mexico State definitely looking to get the ball forward as much as they possibly can, as quickly as they possibly can. And if they can, then they're 1v1 across the back line. So look for them to try to exploit that as much as they possibly can tonight.
It's Millie Eric, the junior, on the far side. Now here to the near side, Johnson. Johnson back on the pitch, missed all of 2025 due to injury. Her 5th season here in Las Cruces.
Here comes Cavett with all kinds of pace.
Cavett, the center, gets through Medrano. Loose on the far side, but kicked out. And the first corner for New Mexico State. That's dangerous. That ball was loose in the box. And they'll actually say a goal kick. Last touch by New Mexico State.
Absolutely. Cavett gets in, serves it across. Bella gets a hand on it, and then able to win a goal kick out of it. And look, ACU's looking to already build it back. You can tell how much Coach Salas is valuing possession this year. They're not looking to knock it long early.
Just missed on the pass. Miller up the near sideline. Throw in here for New Mexico State. Of course, ACU now in the United Athletic Conference after a run there in the Western Athletic Conference. The Wildcats able to make the conference tournament a year ago, had to beat California Baptist in the last game of the year and did that 2-1 to qualify for the WAC tournament. Of course, CBU went on to win the WAC, so that's a quality win to get into the tournament. And now the transition to the UAC. Preseason picked 4th in the UAC, Eastern Kentucky, the preseason favorite. This is passed too far for Leslie, back to New Mexico State.
You know, Coach Salas last year talked about the momentum from the qualifying for the tournament and hoping it builds in. And now he has a very talented recruiting class coming in and is able to work in the offseason with what he's trying to achieve, as you mentioned earlier, trying to create more goal-scoring opportunities.
Aggies on the other side, again, Conference USA. Tough year a year ago, and because of that, they're picked 8th preseason in Conference USA. Of course, Liberty, the favorite. They're out in CUSA.
Addie Briscoe, I think that's her 4th time winning the ball off of the center backs for New Mexico State. And now look at her out wide, creating space. She's 1v1. Oh, just
can't quite keep it. Possession back here to New Mexico State. But she's been all over, sideline to sideline, both sides.
Hydration break already. It looks like stopping this early. It looks like we're going to have 2 hydration breaks a half, but at 103 degrees.
15 minutes in, we are scoreless. Good pace here. New Mexico State and Abilene Christian. United Athletic Conference Soccer coming your way on ESPN+. Here in the first half, we are scoreless. Abilene Christian and New Mexico State. Andy Penny alongside Charles Nobles. The hydration break here in the first half. We anticipate 2 of these here in this first half. And yeah, they're deserved. 100 degrees out here in old West Texas. Yeah, it's mid-August for sure here in Abilene.
Absolutely. You saw even in the World Cup, the pro players were needing it this summer, and so it's a necessity to keep the players healthy and that we can keep some high quality action. This game is so physically demanding on the players, and so getting them a quick break, getting them water, allowing them to regroup, and then we'll go from there. Originally, it was not supposed to be for players to tactically make adjustments, but you see that quickly went out the window.
Oh, coaches will take advantage of every opportunity they have, and they do that there. But hydration is certainly a key on a night like tonight. We're ready to get back underway, just shy of 30 minutes left in our first half, 15 minutes here deep. Shots have been hard to come by. ACU does have 2 shots, one of those on goal thus far. No official recorded shots yet for New Mexico State, but they'll get a throw in here on the near side.
29:55 left in the first half. And remember the college rules, when the clock goes off, it is done. So there will not be extra time from the referee in college soccer this year.
No extra time, no overtime. So we'll just play 90 minutes and see how it plays out here tonight. It's a battle on the near side. Throw in here for New Mexico State.
It'll be interesting to see coming out of the hydration break, are there any changes?
Of course, ACU played Jackson State on Saturday, and that was a game. You look at that box score, there were numerous yellow cards, even a red card. A very physical game to start the year, as Coach Salas talked about. But great way to start the year, not only with the win, but physicality and, of course, success. That made for a bus ride that was a little bit more enjoyable coming back from Shreveport.
Yeah, that 6-hour bus ride, it's a lot sweeter after a victory. And beating a conference champion from last year that made the NCAA tournament. What a quality start to the season for the Wildcats.
There's a Leah Anderson will push and clear down by Cabot. And Jackson State a good year a year ago, but the Wildcats the better Saturday night. Simon in the middle of the field and a bump. And no foul call here. They'll let him play through. As Dalgard a little bump.
New Mexico State on transition again. This is one of the keys that ACU's got to be careful of, is not getting exposed on defensive transition. And what a win. Gracie Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly takes it away from Dalgard. That's really a big key tonight, is just keeping possession and winning those one-on-one battles. Anderson trying to find Gregson, or excuse me, Briscoe. Good job by the defensive line in New Mexico State.
You know, one of the things that Abilene Christian, if they can exploit, that they've started to find is the gap between the midfield and the defenders. And whether it's Michaela or whether it's Aaliyah, both of them are finding some dangerous positions.
Throw in far side for the Aggies here. Dalgar, throw it in, and just a bit high, sails high. And goal kick. Here's a look at, again, Rob Bartz for New Mexico State. 3 consecutive double-digit win seasons. Came to an end last year, a rough year, but he's done some great stuff there at Las Cruces.
Absolutely. I mean, conference champion, conference coach of the year. He's built a solid program, and this year he's talked about how important grit is. And so building a team full of grit, even with all new players, is going to lead to their success. And it may not be early, but he's willing to build the culture that he's looking for, based around just having a gritty team that's going to fight for everything. And they look forward to the dividends it might pay at the end of the year.
Well, you had a good conversation with him in preparation for the game. He's excited about the year. It was a bump in the road a year ago, but plenty of upside on this team. 8 seniors, also the graduate student.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. He's really complimentary of his back line and just their defensive organization already. He's had to replace a goalkeeper that went to the professional level in the offseason, so that's been one of the new additions to the starting lineup. But he's really excited for where they've built and then what they're going to be doing towards the end. And the biggest thing now is just can they create goal scoring opportunities, and then can they actually convert those?
Well, Fortune, it's pretty much her goal for the season. They split duty over the first two games, Arizona and Arizona State, and LaFortune really won the matchup there in goal for the Aggies. Of course, here for ACU, the man on the right, the head coach, his fourth-year Steven Salas. Again, making the conference tournament a year ago, making some postseason play, and now a new conference. He's really excited about the year ahead.
Absolutely. The first thing Coach Salas talked about, though, was his new staff, and he was excited for his old staff who went on to be a head coach and take on the other assistant went on to take a lead assistant role, and now he has an exciting new staff that he's building around, but he's building the culture he wants. He's got a recruiting class that he's really excited about, and then the overall depth of this team. And I think that you see that in his fourth season now, getting to build that and some continuity, and it's always tough to take over for a program, but he's doing a great job, and we're excited to see. He's excited to see what's going to happen going into a new conference this year.
This roster, he really expanded his geographic area as far as this roster was concerned here for 2026. He told us typically our roster is about 85% Texas, but you look at it this year, it's only about 45% Texas. So found some international flavor as well as some transfers from across the country, and really excited about this roster.
Absolutely.
Leslie on the far side top of the box and put in an easy catch save there into the hands of LaFortune.
Speaking of a little international or a little national flavor, Jenna, who was at Kansas State last year and then now is coming in from, but she's originally from California. So it just shows that Coach Salas has hit the road recruiting, and it's not just Texas anymore. He's flying all over that's necessary. He's got some Canadians in there. He's got players from all over the country.
That's Jennifer Plank, number 5, with the ball there in the center circle at the midfield line. The transfer from Kansas State. She's from Kansas State. Katie Gregson started at Liberty. Chloe Nugent, who's still recovering from an injury from a year ago, but she's a transfer from Michigan. You'll see her here before too long.
Absolutely. You have Charlie from Green Bay.
Charlie Smith from Green Bay makes her way to Abilene. And all of them, Steven Salas said, they're great soccer players. I said, how'd you find them? How'd you get them to Abilene? He said they wanted a Christian-centered environment, not only about the soccer pitch, but the type of culture that they're around every day. That's a great draw here to Abilene.
Absolutely. And you got to give Coach Salas a lot of credit there for building a program that models after the university. You see a lot of times the university might have a vision and the programs don't, but he has made sure that this is a team that is going to put their faith first.
Possession here in the middle, won by the Wildcats.
Once again, Michaela picking up the ball in the space between the back line and the midfield, now able to keep it. Now can they get numbers to support Addie Briscoe once they get the ball forward from there?
How fast does Addie Briscoe become the top of the scouting report for other teams?
Immediately.
Already.
You score a goal, have an assist, and is instrumental in the penalty kick that was converted last weekend. I mean, freshman on the stat sheet, coaches will notice immediately there.
There's Esme Arenas down the far side, loses possession. Defensive line for the Wildcats. Able to get it out. Nabrenica in the center of the field. Both teams trying to catch that second wind, you can see.
So this is the dangerous part. Is ACU's going, but is it a 3v4? If they can exploit it quickly, then that'll allow them to go before New Mexico State gets numbers back.
Anderson tries to drop it off to Briscoe. Picked up again. That's Gabby Hislop, the 5'7" junior.
We're going to see our first free kick.
A foul, a free kick here for the Wildcats.
You see her. She's taking the player on 1v1. Well done. Good things happen when you put other teams under pressure. That's going to create the opportunity. And now let's see what kind of service. Coach Salas talked about. He's got numerous players that can create quality service from their set pieces. Let's see what they've maybe drawn up and worked on in training.
That's Kennedy Herrera who gets the foul call on New Mexico State. Abrenica with the free kick.
New Mexico State setting a high line. That's a lot of trust in their goalkeeper as well. But you know, goalkeepers at this level should be able to cover that kind of space. the quality of the service will be very important here.
Here in the 24th minute, KK will drop it in. And defended well by the Aggies and cleared.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of times on the set pieces, it's not necessarily the first win. It's the second ball that happens. And New Mexico State did a great job on picking up off the header and able to clear, release pressure, and now we'll see some subs coming in.
First substitutions here for both teams. We thought we'd see some depth of lineup tonight with just here early in the season, as well as this heat that we're dealing with tonight. We thought we'd see some depth of rosters tonight.
Absolutely. Well, and in college soccer, once again, as we get the new season started, in the first half, there's no re-entry. Yeah. So you play, you're going to get subbed out, and then you can't re-enter again in the first half. The second half changes a little bit, but you're going to have to use your legs and use your roster wisely.
Dalia Smith, Azalee Floriano, both in for New Mexico State. Here's one center of the box. And Miller can't quite get a foot on it.
Once again, look at the 2v1 create out wide, create another possible service. KK with the option.
Yeah, boy, good look. Well played by LaFortune, but another shot on goal for ACU.
But I think once then, you kind of see what Coach Salas was trying to do. He created space out wide on the right, across all the way to the left, and a 2v1, and it led to the opportunity from the top of the box for Michaela.
Shots favoring the Wildcats now. 3 shots on goal, 4 shots total. 1 shot for New Mexico State, but that's been it. Throw in here on the near sideline. This is the first of a doubleheader for the Wildcats this weekend. They'll play host to UTEP on Sunday.
Should be another hot one there. 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, afternoon game on Sunday. Those temperatures are staying in the triple digits for at least 7 to 10 more days.
Great tackle, but once again, look, we're cutting in, or ACU's cutting in, tries to play Addie Briscoe through. You can just see the quality of movement that he's expecting out of her. She's stretching the back line as much as possibly can, and they're just looking to slip her in if at all possible.
Fortune will go far side. That's Smith. And loss of possession. Briscoe gets it for the Wildcats. Miller to the top of the box. And cleared out again by the Aggie back line at Hislop.
One of the things that will serve ACU better if they can just have a little bit more patience before they find the final pass. They're forcing it just a tiny bit too early, and it's allowing New Mexico State just to capitalize. If they can get their backs running towards goal, then they'll be able to really take advantage of the spaces in behind.
So Fortune to the midfield line. Simon battles with Zoe Gist, a 5'5" freshman out of Tucson for this New Mexico State lineup. Dropped in for Dalgard, far corner.
The pressure there wins them a throw-in deep in their attacking third. And now they'll set something up, see what they've been working on, see if they can create a quality service for Dalgard. It looks like they're already moving Dalgard to the middle of the box to hopefully create something for her.
Centered, but Simon able to clear. Charlie Smith wears number 23 tonight for ACU, typically a number 15, but tonight wearing number 23. So she is out her first action here on the home pitch. No Shakira Cafaro-Roberts in uniform tonight, the speedy forward, the junior, but is expected to play on Sunday for ACU, but not in uniform tonight.
She was so dominating last year, coming as a surprise to everybody, I think. And her pace and her ability to score goals just absolutely made a difference for the Wildcats. This is an interesting, Bella has an incredible free kick for the Wildcats and can serve balls in from very deep that create opportunities.
Put it in the box.
Her high school senior year, they upset South Lake Carroll, who was the #1 team in the country, on a free kick with 2 seconds left in the second round of the playoffs.
Sophomore Friendship High School up in the Lubbock area. Beat the highly touted
just offside.
South Lake Carroll. Offside here, and possession will go back here to New Mexico State.
It's always interesting to see when a coach has that much confidence in his team that he can send his goalkeeper up. But I love it. He believes in his team. You go with what your strengths are and use them.
Katie Gregson again near side. She'll make a throw in here for the Wildcats. So we inch close to 2/3 through this first half.
Another sub coming in for the Wildcats.
Amelia Miller will get her first breather. It's Shelby Hollywood, the 5'3" sophomore out of Salado High School, Central Texas area.
I tell you, I know Coach Salas has made a real effort to recruit nationally, but he's also done a great job of keeping Texas talent in state. Shelby was an incredible player at Salado, made it to the state finals, and they got second place her senior year, but she was a big player for them.
A lot of quality soccer around Texas. Of course, there's 9 on the roster for New Mexico State from Texas. Here's a chance for Hollywood. Fresh legs. Can't quite get to it before Cabot able to get possession.
Absolutely. You can just see, I mean, that's why Cabot's in there, right? She's started every game at once since she's played for Coach Bartz, and you can just see how much he trusts her, leaves her out on an island, but she can absolutely handle it herself and wins the goal kick for her team, and now they can reset.
And as you said, the sprint champion, the 100 and the 200 last year at New Mexico State.
That's incredible. At the Division I level, with all the pressure and everything that's required, and to be able to do a dual sport athlete, absolutely incredible. And credit to the coaches at New Mexico State for allowing that to happen. Let the kids be kids and let them play and do what they love to do.
It's a foul call here on Dugard and a free kick here for Gracie Kelly, one of the 4 captains for the Wildcats. The only captain that's not a senior, Gracie Kelly. Her 3rd year. She plays in her 37th game for ACU.
Once again, you see what ACU's trying to do. Build out of the back, moving around, create numbers out wide. Gracie's been playing center back, drops out wide. And now they get Addie Briscoe making the run out wide, and can she create something dangerous from there?
She'll put it top of the box. Cleared again by New Mexico State.
But the patience and the build-up is what really allowed them to get numbers forward there. If they had gone forward early, there's no numbers in the box, and then Addie Briscoe feels like she has to do it all herself. So once again, Addie Briscoe all alone out here. Here's the player spotlight versus player spotlight.
And one this time by Cabot. She'll clear. We're back to Briscoe. We'll try it again, one-on-one.
Cabot, once again, just solid defending. I love the way that she cut her off, uses her body well to place herself between the ball and Addie.
Well, that speed is impressive.
Absolutely. I just look at her positioning. Once again, immediately a touch goes in. She separates the attacker from the ball, and now she's got the advantage, and she wins a free kick.
Our second hydration break here of the first half. Just under 15 minutes left here before the break. We're scoreless. ACU and New Mexico State. And back here in Abilene, our second hydration break here of the first half. Just shy of 15 minutes left in a scoreless tie. We've had a good pace here, I think, Charles. Both these teams, it's early in the season. They're playing well. I really like the energy and the effort we've seen thus far.
Absolutely. You can see both teams really trying to not only figure out the other team, but they're also trying to figure out each other and figure out, I mean, this is only their 2nd or 3rd game officially here, and so you have a lot to learn, and it'll look different towards the end of the season, but you got to appreciate the fact that they're both trying to play today to their strengths and really set their identity for the season.
Out of the hydration break, a goal kick here for New Mexico State, Caroline LaFortune. 4 shots for ACU, 3 of those are on goal thus far, and 1 corner. Mexico State just 1 shot thus far. They've committed 3 fouls. ACU has committed 1. Another great matchup here in this near corner.
Cabot's not giving an inch. Cabot is not giving an inch today. She says, come on at me. Take me on a 1v1, and they've done a great job of she's done a great job of shutting down any of the players that have tried.
Of course, Cabot's been around this program, again, the senior. When you look at this roster, they only had 2 returners of their top 11 as far as minutes played is concerned, and Cabot is one of those 2. She and Kennedy Herrera the other. So the experience versus the freshman. It's been a great matchup thus far, and thus far it's gone the way of Cabot, the senior.
But, you know, I think if I'm Coach Salas, one of the things I'm appreciative of is what are the lessons that your freshman star is going to learn, right? Playing against a senior outside back that just doesn't get beat. Now she's going to have to learn what space can I attack, and do I start trying to attack from the other side of the field now?
across the midfield line. The ACU defensive line ready to go. Gregson clears it back out, and now near side, here is Cabot at the midfield line.
You know, Gregson came from Liberty University. That has been New Mexico State's rival in conference for a while. They've met in a couple conference finals, and definitely some Coach Bart's talked about is playing against teams like Liberty. This tough preseason is going to prepare him for.
Briscoe, left side of the box. And in the middle with the left foot, just wide of the goal. And I believe that was Gregson with the shot. Check that. That was Jennifer Plank, I believe.
Yep.
Just wide of the goal.
Absolutely. Jenna coming from a deep line center midfield role, comes across, has a go, tries to catch the goalkeeper unaware, and just misses just wide. 12 minutes left in the first half. New Mexico State making a sub. See what changes. They're taking out their Danish forward up top, Faluka, and she's been who they're trying to get the service to. So now will they play on the ground a little bit more? It'll be interesting to see how they adapt.
Miller drops it off for Briscoe. Can't quite get there. No contact with Herrera.
You can just see why Coach Bartz was so high on his back line and his defensive shape. They have done such an incredible job defensively. ACU has been dangerous, but they just can't quite get the final ball and the final touch in.
This one dropped, but Briscoe can't get to it. And another goal kick.
And that's a lot of credit to that back line of theirs.
We have played the majority here on the ACU side, but still no score to show for it. Of course, this is a great past summer for soccer. The World Cup brought so much attention and popularity to the game of soccer. I asked Coach Salas, did you get a chance to go to a game? He said, actually, I did. I said, Jerry World in Arlington? He said, no, I got to go to SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles and watched USA and Turkey battle it out, that final game of pool play.
Absolutely.
He said he was on a recruiting trip and talked to his wife into making it a recruiting trip / let's go watch some soccer at SoFi Stadium.
Credit to his wife.
No
Credit
doubt.
to his wife.
No doubt.
Once in a lifetime opportunities here. New Mexico State now.
Yeah, here's Bella Morgus, far side. Will drop it in.
Bella Morgus is a transfer from Southern Nazarene in Oklahoma this year, but originally from El Paso, so getting a little bit closer to home for her senior year.
This one up the far sideline, and a throw in here for New Mexico State.
I think with both teams, you can still see a little bit of, once we talked about earlier, figuring each other out, learning each other. I mean, both teams are young in a lot of ways, and new starting lineups this year. And I'm excited for both of these teams to see what they're going to accomplish by the end of the season, because you can start to see that the tools and the pieces are there for them to both be very quality.
Schedule favorable for the Wildcats when you look at UAC play. They'll split the conference East and West. They'll play all the teams in the West twice. Visit the teams from the East. They'll split home and home with those teams from the East. See the likes of Tarleton State, Central Arkansas, home and home. They'll see them twice. They'll see teams like Eastern Kentucky, West Georgia, Austin Peay. They'll see them only once during the season. Eastern Kentucky, the preseason favorite, will come here to Abilene in October.
It's going to be interesting for the Wildcats because they're used to flying out west
Yeah.
and losing 2 hours. They're going to be.
You know the furthest west ACU plays this year? Abilene, Texas. Everything is east of Abilene. So
I love that.
Certainly a change between Utah Valley, California Baptist, Seattle U, Grand Canyon of days gone by in the WAC.
Bella Morgan's just a little bit late to the tackle, but if you're going to give up a foul, that's definitely the place on the field to do it. Is higher up, not much of a scoring opportunity for ACU from there.
More substitutions here for the Wildcats as we inched down to 9 minutes left here in this first half. Sophia Sayadares, the 5-foot freshman in the midfield. Get her first action. Ooh. In the box. Activity in the box. New Mexico State fortunate to clear. Gregson on the near side.
You can see how important Coach Salas has talked about with Bailey and Jenna, and there's his two holding mids, and the composure that they've brought in, and then in transition moments, their ability to win first and second balls for the Wildcats to keep the ball higher up the field for them.
Floriano wins the battle here, gets possession, and now Angeline Montoya, number 23, will push it up. Gracie Kelly in the back row.
That's a lot of composure when you're the last defender and a ball gets slotted in and you know you have a forward putting pressure on you. But her composure has led to a yellow card for New Mexico State for number...
That's Emma O'Neill, the 5'3" senior. First yellow card tonight for either team.
We'll see what they try to do here. They've been playing short mostly, so will they continue to play short? Yep, absolutely. They have a little 2v1 out here if they'll exploit it early.
Near side, that's Hollywood. Down into the corner, Gregson puts one on net, but wide and high.
You kind of saw what they tried to do. They tried to play Bailey Simon underneath and then create a 2v1 with their left center back and their wing back with Hollywood out there, and almost created a quality opportunity from there. Once again, Coach Salas talked about efficiency in front of goal. I think that's some of the efficiency he would like to see a little bit better of, but early in the season, can't be wrong.
Foul call here on Herrera.
Once again, Addie Briscoe putting pressure. You're going to see here Addie Briscoe's pressure immediately from their goal kick, and now she wins a dangerous free kick for the Wildcats just because of her work ethic. It's one of the reasons Coach Salas is so high on her and what she can do for them.
Well, Simon, the free kick, that's almost a better position than a corner kick. Get out of that tough angle of the corner, but about the same distance.
Absolutely.
The Wildcats will attack this hard on the free kick of Bailey Simon, the 5'4" senior.
Again, look at New Mexico State, a little bit higher of a line. Will they drop off early, or are they still going to go?
Simon puts it in right into the hands of LaFortune.
That's a lot of trust in your goalkeeper knowing that she's willing to come off her line. Well done from LaFortune to collect that and take what could have been a dangerous situation into an easy catch.
So another shot on goal, but comes up dry again for the Wildcats. So we hit 6 minutes left here in the first half. Center of the field, that's Emma Taylor, the 5'11" sophomore from Frisco. Just came on the pitch for the first time. Briscoe one-on-one. Put it on net and hits the post. LaFortune able to get a glove on it and misdirect it, and it hits the post and just misses the back of the net.
And there's the freshman again, already. She, instead of attacking down ACU's left side, she goes to the right side, now it's cut in, and she takes that with her left foot.
Here's another look from the foot of Briscoe. LaFortune just enough
absolutely
to redirect it.
And look, she takes it with the left foot. Once again, freshman with lots of confidence. You got to appreciate somebody coming in and taking that kind of opportunity early on.
Certainly the most dangerous shot on goal that the Wildcats have had here in the first half. LaFortune up to the challenge to keep us scoreless.
Yeah, that's a great save. Absolutely. From point-blank range, period off the crossbar, and then gets them out of a dangerous situation.
That ball through traffic, had some major velocity on it. LaFortune puts it back in play with the goal kick.
ACU has done an incredible job of winning the ball out of the air on these goal kicks, keeping the ball up high. It's been taking players on 1v1.
And a shot for Miller, just redirected and over the top of the net. I thought redirected, but they'll say Miller just sailed it high. And another goal kick for New Mexico State.
It just starts off the goal kick. It comes in. Yep. The cross comes off, deflects off a New Mexico State defender. She comes in and just a little bit high, but once again, that's the efficiency in front of goal. Here in 2 weeks, I bet that's in the back of the net.
The offensive attack here in the last 10 minutes for the Wildcats has really ramped up. LaFortune up to the challenge thus far.
Another goal kick and another ACU win. Coach Salas is going to be really happy with his team and their ability. Oh, that's a hit.
Another high shot, just misses again.
Straight off a goal kick, right? They win it. They're going immediately at you.
On now the 10th shot here in the first half. 5 of those shots on goal. Still only one shot on goal for the Aggies in the first 45 minutes.
This is one of those moments right now. Coach Bartz is praying to get to halftime, and Coach Salas doesn't want the first half to end.
Miller drops it off top of the box, through the traffic, back into the hands of the goalkeeper. Yeah, you're right. I think for the Aggies, maybe a reset here in 3.5 minutes is the best strategy they can have. Try to get this thing to a scoreless tie at the half.
And you can just tell the confidence is growing in ACU and how quickly that they're attacking now. They're not wasting time. They want the ball and throw-ins. They're getting back in play immediately. Now they'll set something up, but if they could have gone quick there, they definitely would have gone quick on the throw-in.
That's Audrey Coppinger, the 5'7" freshman out of Kansas City with the throw-in. Getting the depth of the roster here in the first half.
It's not often in a game like this between two quality opponents that you're going to get to use this much of your bench, and both teams are showing that they have trust in their players to put them in. So credit to both coaches as well in building a roster that they can play players, not just 14 in a match and feel comfortable.
15 newcomers on this ACU roster this year, 9 freshmen, 6 transfers. The same can be said for this New Mexico State roster.
Absolutely.
Had 14 returners, but plenty of newcomers that are making an impact.
ACU had to throw in deep. Addie Briscoe trying to put pressure, but Marley once again using her body well and drawing the free kick to maybe relieve a little bit of pressure for New Mexico State. Bailey Simon there to win another ball out of the air.
Now far side, Coppinger. And on the attack, Simon now far sideline. Check that. That's Smith far sideline. Squares it up. A shot again. Not much foot on this one, and LaFortune an easy save.
No, but ACU is definitely creating quality chances. Once again, if they can just create quality chances, eventually they're going to start to fall. And there's nothing like a match. You can train all day, but you get into a match in front of goal. That's when pressure starts to fill and who can find the back of the net. And once they start falling, you got to believe that this team will just be able to score a lot more goals. And we may see more of those three goals a game like last weekend.
Hollywood near side will challenge Cabot. Gets it down into the corner. Contact.
Wins the free kick.
And a free kick.
1 minute left in the first half. Let's see what ACU tries to do.
As good as Cabot's been against Briscoe here in the first half, Hollywood able to get a step, and then the push by Cabot sets up a free kick here for the Wildcats. 40 seconds and counting left in our first half. And one final push here for ACU.
This is so close to a corner. You might as well set up how you normally do and see what kind of opportunities, but don't discount Bailey's ability to shoot this from here. This could be a very dangerous opportunity. You see Addie Briscoe staying down the goalkeeper.
Simon squares it up. LaFortune a mitt on it again and clears it far side.
Confident goalkeeping. You got to love it. Willing to come off her line, willing to take a risk and win it.
And the throw in for the final seconds. Miller sails it high again, and that's how our first half will come to a close. Wildcats' offensive attack certainly ramped up in the last 15 to 20 minutes. 11 shots compared to just 1 for New Mexico State. But the stat that matters, we're scoreless on the scoreboard 45 minutes in. New Mexico State, ACU, they'll take the halftime break. We will as well here on ESPN+. In Abilene, Texas, we are scoreless. New Mexico State and Abilene Christian. The Wildcats ramped up the offensive energy there in the last 15 minutes, but still a scoreless tie thanks to Carol Ann LaFortune, the goalkeeper for New Mexico State, keeping this one scoreless. Andy Penny alongside Charles Nobles, and good first half, good energy in the first half. We saw some goal-scoring opportunities for ACU, just didn't put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of their opportunities come in later on, which just shows the depth of his squad. The starters came out playing. They created quality opportunities, but then at the end of the half, as fatigue and new players came on, ACU just kept putting pedal to the metal, I guess you'd say. And winning a lot of goal kicks out of the air just created a lot more transition opportunities.
12 shots, 6 of those are shots on goal, but still scoreless. New Mexico State's shot came early in the first half. They did not have a shot in the last 30 minutes of that first half. 2 shots apiece for Jennifer Plank as well as Aaliyah Anderson and Raylyn Miller. They both had 2 shots. Addison Briscoe with just 1 shot, a shot on goal, and the most dangerous shot on goal there in the first half, but a great save by Carol-Ann LaFortune. Got a mid on it. It hit the top post and kept us scoreless here at 0-0. And here's a look at those first half stats, and you'll see a lot of what you're going to see is down on the ACU end. There's the 1 shot by New Mexico, but that's really been it. We've played a lot down here on this left end of the pitch.
Absolutely. Quality from out wide, quality from the top of the box. I think a key for ACU will be, can they get the ball inside the box to create the next opportunities instead of just settling for shots around the top of it.
Carol-Ann LaFortune has been aggressive in goal. She's been positioned well in goal here. A nice save. Gets both mitts on the shot. Able to do the same thing here on the free kick. And again, here is Addie Briscoe, her 1 shot. Enough of a mitt by LaFortune to make it hit the crossbar and kept us scoreless here in the first half.
Absolutely. And Addie early on was trying to attack on the left side against Marley, but then immediately moved to the right-hand side, cuts in on her left foot, and has incredible effort.
Scoreless here at halftime, ACU and New Mexico State. We look around the United Athletic Conference. First time we look around the United Athletic Conference here, the new conference for ACU, and you get a look at the Player of the Week as well as the Defensive Player of the Week. What a great week for Maria Schuler, the goalkeeper, with the more than 40 saves, I believe, and also, or check that, Defensive Player of the Week, Emily Santabria from West Georgia, with more than 40 saves on the week. But Schuler and Santabria, the first UAC Players of the Week. Absolutely.
Game-winning goal over Arkansas State, little Arkansas rivalry. It's a good start for them.
0-0 ACU and NMSU. We'll take a look at both conferences in the preseason standings for both. We'll do it on the other side here from Abilene. And back in Abilene, halftime. The home opener for the Abilene Christian Wildcats. A scoreless first half, ACU and New Mexico State. Andy Penny alongside Charles Nobles. And Charles, we take a look at both of these conferences and the preseason rankings for these 2 teams, ACU and New Mexico State. And for the Wildcats, right in the middle here of the UAC, which we'll look at here in just a moment. Conference USA, New Mexico State coming off a tough year, and because of that, they start the year at 8th.
Absolutely, starting towards the bottom, but Coach Bartz has got high expectations for his team to be quite up there challenging with Liberty again, who's been a dominating factor in that conference for a while now.
They have been certainly the leader of that Conference USA for a long time. Liberty, New Mexico State will try to turn around that season from a year ago and get things rolling. Again, 3 consecutive double-digit win seasons prior to last year's 2-12-4 mark. So plenty of upside for New Mexico State moving forward. Again, we look at the United Athletic Conference, the first year of the newly formed UAC. Eastern Kentucky is the preseason favorite. ACU, after their 4th place finish last year in the WAC, they'll start preseason ranked 4th here in the UAC.
Absolutely, all new teams to compete again, except for Tarleton. That rivalry will stay the same, but it'll be interesting to see. Abilene Christian is going to go out east now and challenge.
Yep. So the UAC will get started here in late September. Second half is on the other side. ACU and New Mexico State will have it for you here on ESPN+. And back to Abilene, we get ready to start the second half here. A scoreless draw thus far. Abilene Christian and New Mexico State. Andy Penny alongside Charles Nobles. And Charles, the sun is setting, but the temperature, well, we're down to double digits now. I guess that's a good thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll see if they need 2 hydration breaks or just 1 this half as well. But the heat's going to still play a factor. I think possession the second half is who can keep the ball so that you're not using your legs nearly as much and the other team is chasing could play a factor at the end of this match, and who can get a late goal and come away with a winner.
12 shots for ACU. 6 of those were on goal. Just 1 shot there in the first half for New Mexico State. Okay, let's talk New Mexico State here. What's the conversation at halftime? What did they talk about?
I think the conversation for them definitely has got to revolve around was when they play the ball forward, they've got to get numbers up because it's going to be a 50-50 ball. And so with it being a 50-50 ball, the second ball will be the most important if they're going to retain the ball. If not, ACU is just capitalizing it, winning the second ball, and then they're able to set up their attacking philosophy at that point.
For this, let's flip sides here. For the Wildcats, Stephen Salas' conversation at halftime.
It's got to be about how do they create more quality chances instead of settling from the shots from outside the box or the crosses. Notice they've only got 1 corner kick in the first half. I would like to see them get to the inline more and then create services from there to maybe get the ball in deeper and create better opportunities.
Wildcats will start with possession here in this second half of play. So see the majority of the starters back here on the pitch, but Shelby Hollywood gets the start here in this second half, number 10 here on the near sideline.
She was extremely dangerous when she came in and brought a lot of energy out wide. And so it's nice to see him rewarding her and giving her a chance. And the interesting thing is they kept her over here on the far side, which on the first half she was on the left, but now they're keeping her on the right. So what are they looking for? What are they trying to exploit? Esme
Arenas, a touch here to start the second half for New Mexico State on the end line. Wildcats will get a throw in.
If you notice, Salas has already looked like he's changed the ACU to more of a two forward system when they have the ball. Maybe trying to get Addie Briscoe some help so she's not chasing everything by herself. But Aaliyah Anderson's already starting higher, and Michaela's sitting alone as the lone attacking center mid. New Mexico State looks the same, looks still more of a 4-4-2, I would say. 4 across the back. They push 4 high. When they do it and try to let their 2 midfielders, but they're going to have to get numbers around the ball when they serve it up high, when they serve it up top.
It's near side again. That's Charlize Smith, who wears number 23 tonight here on this near side. Now Millie Eric again with possession. Back into the defensive row, and Kennedy Herrera.
Kennedy's been extremely solid. Gabby Hislop has been extremely solid as center backs. While there's been space out wide, especially on New Mexico State's left side, nothing going down the middle for them. And once again, nothing going down the right with Marley Cavett out there.
Of course, Cavett, our player to watch tonight for New Mexico State, and she has lived up to that credit that we gave her. Here's one dropped into the box with a left foot, just wide left side.
I love absolutely how Aaliyah started high, but now still. So Aaliyah drops into the space in between the midfield and is able to slot in Michaela, who just misses wide.
Yeah, Brennica just wide on the left side. This one pushed deep, but no offensive threat at all for the Aggies down here on this offensive end. Just a long run for Smith to run it down.
That ball stayed in play, which created a dangerous situation for ACU. Now Charlie was forced to just to clear it out, and now New Mexico State's able to get numbers higher up the field.
One of the deeper throw-ins that New Mexico State's had here tonight. So center of the field, a touch for Rachel Hahn.
Let's see how they set up here. They've actually combined a couple of passes here. You know that they're going to try to create some sort of service. But now this is more simple from them versus trying to serve a deep ball. So maybe this will be the change that they're hoping to see instead of being so direct. And then what will that lead to for their opportunities going forward?
Hislop to set up the offense. Near side will drop it in there in the center to Hahn. And now they'll try the far side, and entry to the top of the box with the left foot put on goal, but an easy save. Madrano on the far post.
Credit Medrano there, right? You haven't been used all game, and then all of a sudden you're called into action. And even though it was an easy save, you like those as a coach to have your keeper have to make an easy save versus a difficult one right away.
It was Floriano who was able to put it on net, but just very soft and an easy save. We're just underway here in the second half.
And already New Mexico, you can see they're trying to value the ball. They're not forcing it forward, swinging it more across the back versus just forcing it up to their forwards immediately. which is going to allow them probably to control the tempo of the game early if ACU can't get on the ball and breaking down at the Wildcats.
Floriano will push it forward. A run out here for New Mexico State. 3-on-4. Top of the box again. Dropped off. Eric puts it on net. Deflected. Gets it back. Top of the box. Drops it. Shot in. Another easy save as Floriano again. No elevation on that. It stayed on the ground. And again, a soft kick in and an easy save for Medrano.
After a year where Medrano had save after save after save, I think she kind of may appreciate this starting early on, but she knows that if her defense isn't going to get organized there, she's going to face a lot more of it. And they did such a good job in the first half of not allowing those opportunities. So just come back from the second half and get back into their flow and their rhythm. And that do it. But New Mexico State has definitely come out well, and you can tell Coach Bartz has made an impact with simple, short passes versus the longer ones.
Medrano tonight makes her 16th start in her ACU career. She came on, competed for the job last year, and finally won it once conference time rolled around. And this year, it's really her nets for an extended period of time. Has two freshmen behind her in Tavi Decker and Alice Long. But really, it's Medrano's net. As long as she is competitive and successful, it'll be her net for a long, long time.
Absolutely. Marley Caveat from New Mexico State just wins a corner for their first corner of the match. This is how they scored last week against Arizona State. Let's see what they can create here.
Floriano puts it on net, and it's long.
Very dangerous, scary opportunity, but that's why you keep somebody in the back post. And I think Bello felt comfortable with that the whole way.
Now here the last few minutes, the New Mexico State offense has certainly been more on the attack.
And it's actually starting with them pressing a little bit higher. They're not just sending one, they're sending numbers around the ball to press. And so that's allowing them to put ACU under pressure. And ACU's not able to use their two holding mids in their buildup.
Briscoe a touch, but offside. Free kick here for New Mexico State, just behind the midline. 50 minutes down, 40 to play tonight. This scoreless draw this far.
See, that time they found Fluga, but instead of playing it to her head, they play it to her feet, allowed her to check back in, keeping the ball that way by going forward, laying it off.
Brenica fouled and get a chance to put it back into play.
If you're ACU here, now slow it down a little bit, get back into your rhythm. You did such a good job of patience, swinging around the back, but she saw something early. Capitalized off of it.
Hollywood wins possession. She'll drop it in. Left side of the box, Anderson. Anderson battles with Cavett, and Cavett able to clear.
Marley just kind of showed her pace there. She's a little out of position. All of a sudden, she's back and winning the ball, and you're like, oh, where did she come from?
The 5'1" senior from Sacramento, Marley Cavett.
Spent her freshman year at University of Portland, even started a few games as a freshman, and then transferred to New Mexico State. Started everything but one match since she's been at New Mexico State. Quite the career already.
Verplank sends it in. Now Hollywood has it on the left foot. Wildcats set up their offense. Back to Verplank near sideline.
You can see, once again, Salas talking about trying to get numbers up around the ball. He's created numbers out wide, so it looks like they're trying to exploit some width out here, but then they're going to have to keep it once they get it wide versus forcing it right back in the middle.
Center of the field, Floriano. And New Mexico State to keep possession. They'll push it back to La Fortune.
Definitely, I mean, you can already see the passing sequences has already changed, where earlier is 1, 2, knock it long. That was about 4 or 5 passes right in a row before they knocked it long. It allowed them now to get numbers up, so when they knock the ball long, it's not just one person trying to win it and hold it off. There's 4 New Mexico State players there, and now they have another number going forward.
Possession one here, Arenas. It's a foul call, and the foul will give possession here back to the Wildcats. And ACU back at home on Sunday afternoon. They'll play host to UTEP. Mexico State also back in action on Sunday. It's typically what you see in the schedule, kind of a Thursday, Sunday weekend schedule. the majority of the year. It helps with travel and a little bit of rest in between game 1 and game 2.
Absolutely. NCAA made that change a few years ago, allowing them to play Thursday, Sundays. Better for the student athlete, mentally, physically. They may miss a little bit more school now, but hopefully at this level they're able to get the help that they need, and they take care of business in the classroom as well as on the field.
Some long road trips for these two teams once conference play rolls around.
Offside.
There's an offside on New Mexico State. As Dalgard tried to get behind the defense, but called for the offside.
You can see Dalgard made her run super early. That extra little touch by Cavett just allowed her to go off, and credit to ACU back line for holding strong and not running with her, which led to the offside. And now they have possession of the ball again.
And Smith wears 23 tonight. Typically in jersey number 15, the transfer from Green Bay. 23 tonight. Leslie, far sideline.
Now this is a lot more like what AC did. Go out wide, come back to your holding mid. They've got to keep the ball there. Can't force something there because now they're in transition state. And this is one of the things Coach Sauce was definitely making sure is they need to be disciplined in transition, and they did a good job of slowing it down. But now can they win the ball back?
Arenas with possession finds Eva Martin. Martin with a shot. Another nice soft save for Medrano.
Absolutely, but credit to her for staying focused, credit to her for movement, and then you can already see that she's communicating with her back line and talking to her team about their shape. So she plays simple out of the back. Maybe this will be part of it, is get the ball farther down the field into they're attacking third for the Wildcats, and then can they press and win it here, which they did a great job in the first half of.
Hahn will clear it to the far side. Leslie will run it down just past the midfield line. 10 minutes deep here in this second half. ACU still leads the battle shots with 13 compared to just 4 for New Mexico State. Shots on goal 6-2.
Gregson and Leslie switch places there, you saw, so Gregson goes out. Addie Briscoe just makes the run a little bit too early offside. So one of the things that she'll continue to grow and mature in is looking across her line as a forward. And she'll be able to keep her runs quicker, but Katie Gregson with a great run, great idea, just 1 second too late.
Just offside. Possession here in the middle, one again by the Aggies. So Arenas with contact, lost possession. Wildcats, nice job on the defensive back line.
Just unfortunate a little bit there. You know, one of the things that Coach Salas mentioned to us, if they're going to keep the ball, the movement off the ball is a little bit better. When you get into a hot match with a lot of heat, sometimes the legs and the mind aren't doing the same thing anymore. So how can they get back to those little simple movements to create those little angles? Once they can do that, then they can dominate the ball again.
Change here as you can see Gracie Kelly come in. So a foul was called because a free kick here by Kelly just inside the near sideline. Hollywood chests it up. Drops it into the corner. Abrenica centers, just missed.
2v1 out wide there.
Yep.
Hollywood checks in, receives the ball. Abrenica makes the overlapping run. Creates a quality opportunity there.
I believe it was Anderson who just couldn't quite get to it. They're in the box.
Uh-oh.
And now a chance here is Dalgard, far corner. And a corner kick here for the Aggies.
Dalgard stayed on side. ACU thought she had run off, and then so now they're tracking back, and another second corner for the Aggies.
Both here in the second half, both from the far corner.
You know, when you have a 5'11" target up there, you got to think that it's got to find her somehow, some way. And then who's making runs off of her? Because the first one probably won't be clean. You can see they're putting Katie on her, just trying to match a little bit of height for height.
Floriano with the corner. It's in possession of the Aggies. Far side.
What a save.
Tag, and just over the top. Great job is Medrano able to use the glove and push it up over the top of the crossbar.
Maybe the initial target wasn't to Dugard, but then she ends up getting on it anyway. Holds the ball up nice, but I guess when you have a player of Rachel Hahn's size too. You might as well find her if you can't find Dugard in there.
Great save just over the post.
She made that look a lot easier than that actually is. That's a difficult save with the spin. You can normally see that ball hitting a goalkeeper's hand and going in. And so great strong hands there to tip it over.
Floriano now from the near corner. Medrano able to get a paw on it. Cleared to the far sideline.
You know, towards the end of the first half, ACU seemed to have all the rhythm and going. Now we're starting to see New Mexico State, from the start of the half, has had the quality chances. We're getting to the point where they called the hydration break in the first half. I don't know if we'll have 2 in that, but ACU could probably use it if they did.
Right at that 30-minute mark. This one cleared. And yeah, the Aggies have really taken control of the offensive attack here in the second half.
Marley got there down. And what I like that she's getting to the touchline. She's getting to the end line, create services. That's going to create more opportunities for corners, dangerous opportunities, because now AC is running back towards their own goal. A lot better than crosses. I used to call them hit and hope crosses. You just serve it across and hope that it finds the forward's head versus intentional cross from the end line.
Dalgard with the left foot will put it on net again to the far post. We've gone under that 30-minute mark here, Charles. No timeout for a hydration break, so might just be to the one hydration break at the 22.5-minute mark here in the second half.
Absolutely. I think with the sun going down, it's probably the right call there. So we got about 5 more minutes until the hydration break, but can ACU slow the game down, get the ball at their feet, and play from there? They're going to sub real quick. Hopefully that'll create a change for them. Oh.
Well, here is now the timeout.
They tricked us.
They did trick us. Hydration break here in the second half with just less than 29 minutes remaining. We're scoreless. New Mexico State, Abilene Christian. Hydration break here in the second half, 15 minutes in. 60 minutes down, 30 to go. We are scoreless, ACU and New Mexico State. Charles, this one has the feel of what we saw last year in Las Cruces, an NMSU 1-0 win over the Wildcats.
Absolutely. You can tell 2 coaches that have their team super organized in their back, probably a lot of defensive organization work from both teams. Teams that are willing to fight. And so last year was windmill. Both coaches have mentioned how competitive of a match it was. And I guess we shouldn't expect anything different this year as they're coming out even early in the season with brand new rosters. Still the identity is the same. And it's going to be a fun last 30 minutes because you know both teams want a victory here. ACU trying to go 2-0. New Mexico State trying to get their first win on the season.
Well, the stats have certainly flipped here in the second half. First half, ACU outshot New Mexico State 12-1. Here in the second half, it's flips. New Mexico State with 5 shots compared to just 1 for the Wildcats here in the first 15 minutes.
Absolutely. And what you've seen is New Mexico has done better on keeping the ball, and it's created more numbers up and then creating opportunities, and ACU seem to be forcing the ball a little forward too early and not in the same rhythm that they were in the first half.
Wildcats a throw in here in the near sidelines. We're back to action.
Hahn has been an incredible player for New Mexico State. She's really settled down the midfield for them. She's won balls out of the air, and then she gets it, and her composure on it has allowed New Mexico State. Here they go again.
And Dalgar on far side. Goes one-on-one. That's Gracie Kelly.
Corner number 4 for the match.
All here in the second half.
You know, you start playing with a little bit of fire when you give up too many corners. Most teams can score 1 out of every 5, 1 out of every 7. So you don't want to give up too many of these opportunities.
Floriano the corner to the short post, and it's headed out, and a free kick here for the Wildcats. Didn't put that one in great position for teammates to make a play on.
Absolutely not. No, last week their goal against Arizona State, they served the first one to the PK spot. It was kind of like one of those, a bunch of players battling for it, and then it popped out to Montoya, who has a great one-touch finish on the goal against Arizona State. Put them up 1-0.
Lone goal thus far of the season here in game number 3. There's one pushed into the far corner. Briscoe giving chase.
Two incredibly fast players right there battling it out. We've already seen Addie Briscoe's pace.
A touch for Cavett, far sideline. She'll push it up to the midfield line. Floriano will dump it in. Dalgar a header.
You notice that when New Mexico State does play the ball forward, all of a sudden there's not nobody behind them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 players there. So even if they don't get it clean, they're able to keep the ball at that point, and that's allowing them to get numbers up and sit in the attacking half.
Mexico State calling for a handball here, and I think they get the call. They'll get a free kick.
This could be what Coach Bartz is talking about with wanting to get quality services. I mean, there's dead ball, so ACU is going to be 10 yards away, and then can they get it? They have 2 5'11" players in Hahn and Dugard, so you got to think one of them has got to be your target. Now Cavett is streaking out to the right. Okay, Hollywood does a good job of awareness there.
Giuliano Negretto will put it into the box. First touch by the Wildcats with a head.
Penalty.
And now conversation in the box. Has a penalty been called on ACU?
It looks like it has. It looks like they either called a foul on ACU when they were marking Dugard or Hahn. And everybody's a little confused.
Well, it looks like foul on ACU in the box and a penalty kick.
25 is going to step up and take it. Esme
Arenas. Arenas will get the penalty kick. One-on-one with Medrano after the foul in the box on the free kick. A chance for New Mexico State to take the lead here with just shy of 26 minutes remaining tonight.
I think this last summer in the World Cup, we saw the importance of penalties over and over and over again. So this could change the game quite one way or the other pretty quickly. Medrano makes a save. ACU now has a lot of momentum again. New Mexico, then if they score, they're up 1-0 and playing well the second half.
Sophomore versus sophomore, Arenas and Medrano. Aggies trying to take the lead on the PK. Arenas will square it up and able to score the goal. She goes far side, Medrano gets near, and the Aggies have a 1-0 lead.
We'll see here in a second the foul that led up to that, but that's a calm and collected penalty. Medrano guessed the wrong way, and she just slotted it in.
So first goal of the year for Arenas. And New Mexico State, courtesy of the foul, we'll see here in the box, able to get the penalty kick.
Free kick goes in.
Well, it looks like a potential hold there on Kelly. Possibly.
Definitely called it tight, and credit to New Mexico State for stepping up and taking advantage of a situation.
Foul was called on Aaliyah Anderson that led to the penalty kick. So now 1-0 lead for the Aggies.
Sometimes though a goal can be in your favor for ACU. It's been a little hectic. Maybe this will calm them down and just get back to playing that they were, because they were so dangerous in that first half.
Smith will push it down into the corner. Boy, Briscoe has been covered up so well tonight.
Aaliyah Anderson gets in.
Back in the box, but loses it, and a free kick for New Mexico State. You certainly see a quick sense of urgency here for ACU. Still plenty of time on the clock, but quick sense of urgency coming out of that penalty kick.
Absolutely. Quick throw in. I love it. Catching them maybe sleeping. That meant a lot. Coach Bartz was worried about. The only thing I'd like to see Aaliyah do is just get to the end line there. If she keeps going and then crosses it back, she's either winning a corner or that. But credit to ACU for taking advantage of another goal kick, which is how a lot of their opportunities started in the first half.
Brenica works with Simon and over on the far side. And one away by Cavett.
She's absolutely an incredible 1v1 defender. I mean, you just put her out there. You know, there's nobody's even coming to help her. They trust her completely. I think only one time she's been beaten, and they gave ACU a foul on that side. So
pushed out near side, a throw in for the Wildcats. Look at Gabby Hislop there in the defensive line.
She's been so incredibly solid for them all game long. Failure to clear now that ACU keeps the ball in the attacking third. Michaela, we know she's willing to take players on.
Brenica gets a foot on it, but sails well high. Goal kick here for the Aggies.
I definitely think that the maturity of the ACU team is throughout the season. They're going to learn to take that and try to get into the box versus settling from those shots outside.
All right, Charles, so how does the strategy change here? Now, instead of a tie game, you have a 1-0 lead. Here we are in the back third of 90 minutes. How does the strategy change for the two teams?
You know, I don't know how much it's going to change right away. Hopefully ACU will continue to try to get back to the way they were in the first half and keeping the ball. But you get under 15 minutes now, and you're going to need to start sending players forward a little bit more. But free kick for ACU right outside the box.
Yeah, Briscoe fouled.
So I think if you change too early, you open the game up too much, and that's not something ACU wants to do this early. But at the end, you may just have to do it and go for it.
See the foul happen just outside the corner of the box, far side. It will be a Brenica to take the free kick.
University of San Diego transfer from California. First home game for the Wildcats here.
Already a goal. She had a hand in all 3 goals versus Jackson State. And Brenica to put it on net. And a great diving save, far post. LaFortune has not been challenged much here in the second half, but that's her best save by far here in half number 2.
The old adage for goalkeepers is you can never get beat near post. But when you have girls on the back post that you can serve to, sometimes it's hard to cover the near post. Credit to Brenica there for stepping over, making the routine save that was not routine. ACU back at it again.
Oh, Miller centers it up. Briscoe just missed on the center, and then the rebound attempt by Anderson sails wide as well.
Credit to ACU. This is who we saw in the first half. Winning goal kicks, going back at them, winning punts, getting wide, and then creating services and attacking from there.
You see, but Briscoe just missed.
Addie Briscoe just misses, and then
that's Anderson, yep.
Following up.
On the rebound, yep.
It's great to see her on the field. I know that she hasn't got her career's been up and down, but Coach Salas is so proud of her and her testimony and just resolved to keep going. What an amazing kid.
Yeah, recovering from the ACL tear, Aaliyah Anderson did not play 2025, scored her first goal in a year and a half last Saturday in the season opener. See a dynamic line here with Brenica and Anderson as well as Briscoe. Another foul here and another free kick for the Wildcats.
Definitely as the players get tired, you can start to see a little bit more grabby, a little bit more physical. The ref is now calling it a little bit tighter. So we've seen more free kicks in this half already than we did in the first half.
And Verplank and Simon will both line up. Look again at that foul.
Yeah, Michaela does a great job of getting in front, and Han grabs her to try to win the ball back, and Michaela does a great job of drawing the foul. Another dangerous opportunity for ACU if they can capitalize on it.
Verplank puts it in the box and pushes it wide on the near side.
It's interesting, early on in the season, teams are still trying to figure out who's going to take free kicks, what position. Some players, it's almost like a basketball. Some people like their spots. So they're trying to figure out who's taking it from what spots and go from there. But, they'll continue to work on it, and they'll continue to create quality opportunities.
Zoe Gist, a substitution, her first appearance here in the second half, the 5'5" freshman from Tucson. She's in here for NMSU. Foul here and another free kick for the Wildcats.
Yeah, looking to play it quickly out of the back, trying to catch New Mexico State unaware. once again. But that's that overload out wide. I like that they're going back to that, using Hollywood and Katie out there. It's creating the 2v1s, and now they get a service in the box. And
throw in here on the near side. So we hit the 20-minute mark remaining tonight. New Mexico State, Esme Arenas goal on a penalty kick. This is our lone goal tonight, a 1-0 New Mexico State lead.
Gracie Kelly stepping over and winning the ball again. Gabby Hislop just incredibly solid back there.
And out to the midfield line.
Excuse me, that was Sydney Johnson back there with the win, but both of their center backs have just been special for New Mexico State. Nothing's going through the middle on them. If you're going to get in, you're going to have to get in from the outside.
Arenas far side, pushes down into the corner.
Another free kick.
And nice job by the Wildcats, and a foul here on Arenas.
In the first half, they would play those short, so it's interesting to see how the tactics have changed a little bit, serving them long. Wondering if that was the player's discretion or if that's something Coach Salas saw at halftime and he wanted to get the ball higher up the field earlier.
Guess with possession, but loses it. Here come the Wildcats again. A push from behind and another foul call.
At some point, you may start to see another yellow come out just because it's one after the other. Even though it's not the same player, it's just too many repeated fouls. And slow it down just a little bit because it can destroy the rhythm of the game real quickly.
Ever since the Arenas goal, we've changed ends. We've played much more on the ACU end since the Arenas goal. Just shy or just past the 30-minute mark. The last 10 minutes, ACU has again ramped up the offensive attack. Still no goals to show for it. 17 shots compared to just 7 for New Mexico State. The penalty kick goal by Arenas the difference.
Absolutely, and once again, New Mexico State, way more composure in the back. Earlier, that would have gone 1-2, and then it would have gone long. Here, they've swung it around the back, went all the way back to the goalkeeper, finding their holding mid and build up. I think the patience has been the biggest key. Credit to Coach Bars for the halftime adjustments and getting his team to calm down and play that way. That's a tough transition to get a team that was playing direct to all of a sudden play possession. It's easier to go the other way.
Audrey Coppinger is sub back in here there at that last timeout. Briscoe finds possession. Top of the box.
Taking her on 1v1. Great defending there once again.
Well, there have just been white jerseys all around Briscoe tonight.
Absolutely.
Just unable to find much space.
You wonder if Coach Salas maybe wished she didn't have the weekend she had last week. It's more a surprise on the first match.
It does not take long to get on the scouting report.
Not at all. You know, credit to ACU tonight for their home fans. This has been an incredible turnout. With school not starting next week, it makes a great atmosphere for the first home game of the season.
Of course, move in, welcome week this week for the Wildcats. They start class, I believe, on Monday, but majority of the students are back on campus.
Absolutely, and they have turned out tonight.
Briscoe with the center. The header just misses. That was Raylan Miller.
Let's see here. You know, the punts even have been better. Their punts aren't going directly to ACU anymore. They're actually going further in this half, so it hasn't allowed ACU just to sit on them like they did in the first half. But as the game gets here, look at it start to open up. I do think this plays in ACU's favor, especially with pace up top that they have, if there can be the space, because now Briscoe.
Ball won by Miller, but possession here and cleared by New Mexico State.
Yeah, if Briscoe doesn't have to beat a midfield and a defender, it's in her advantage.
Closing in on the final third here of the second half.
I guess the question is are we going to have a hydration break?
That will be the question. I would think if they've cut it into thirds, I would anticipate another one here under 15.
Bailey Simon just going on a little bit of a dribble there.
They'll change sides. Here's Miller with a header, pushing it down into the box to the other Miller. With a shot with the left foot, centers it, shot. Oh,
what
just enough of a glove to push it wide.
You got it.
As it was Anderson. Now check that, it was Amelia Miller who was able to get a foot on it. LaFortune just enough of the glove to push it wide, set up a corner for ACU.
Yeah, the cross out wide, the header in. Then she creates just absolutely gritty work there from her. Plays at the top of the box, just unfortunate, incredible save.
A corner here for the Wildcats, trying to tie it up as we've gone under 15 minutes.
That's a deep ball into the box, maybe just a bit too far.
Look at the upcoming schedule here for the Aggies. Long Beach State coming up, and then kind of a unique, fun road trip. USC, and then at Hawaii. Can't complain having to go to Hawaii. And then Utah Valley, former WAC foe of ACU, and the battle with New Mexico.
Yeah, you can tell.
For New Mexico State.
Coach Bart's definitely set up that schedule tough. He wants to test his team early. He's building grit into them, and you can't build grit with an easy schedule.
Hydration break, our final one. We've gone under 15 minutes here in the second half. Aggies look for their first win of the year. They've got a 1-0 lead here in Abilene. And Esme Arenas penalty kick goal. Just under 30 minutes left here in this second half is the difference. New Mexico State with the 1-0 lead. Shots go the way of ACU, 19-7. 8 of those shots on goal, but Carol Ann LaFortune has been up to the challenge thus far. Still has a clean sheet as we've gone under 15 minutes remaining.
She has definitely stepped into some big shoes to fill after the former #1 went pro this last year, and she's made some quality saves and proven why she's the one in the net tonight.
And here's another ball that's pushed out by New Mexico State. They'll call it a corner. Couldn't tell if it was sideline or corner, but they have awarded a corner kick.
New Mexico's not aware. ACU sitting 2 over.
Oh, actually, they've called it on the sideline. I thought it was a corner. They've called it on the sideline. Here's the centering pass on the back post. A shot just wide on the near side.
Credit to ACU there. New Mexico State was just dropping in, ready to defend the corner, and ACU took advantage of the opportunity.
It's Gracie Kelly who had a shot. Just missed on the near post.
Definitely one of those things that inches the other way, and it's 1-1 right here. So they're having their chances. They've created some quality opportunities. Now they, as Coach Saul said, they've got to be more efficient in front of goal, and those little opportunities right there can be the difference. And coming out with a draw, a win, or walking away here with a loss.
Aggies will try to push. They've really had no offensive attack since they took the 1-0 lead.
Nope, absolutely.
Been willing to play more on the defensive side. ACU's been more on the attack. Loss of possession here as Coppinger can't get to it near side.
You know, as a coach, we call them end-of-game tactics. And so we'll see what ACU's down-a-goal system might be and how their tactics are going to change, and we'll see what New Mexico State's up-a-goal system tactics are going to be here in the final 15. But I definitely think you're going to see more chances from each team here. I don't think that this is going to be a stalemate here at the end.
It's a good battle here, one. Brenica. And now Briscoe near side. Tries to center, it's deflected, gets it back.
This is what we want to see more of her. Taking players on, trying to get there. Gabby Hislop once again. Incredible night at center back for New Mexico State Aggies.
Throw in near side, Coppinger. And now Briscoe will center it up, top of the box. Drop back to Gregson.
Once again, this is the 2v1 ACU's been trying to exploit, but it looks like New Mexico State's already dropped another player out there. However, what a run and what a ball over the top. But
guess who it is?
Exactly.
Marley Cavett again. run down far side and a throw in for the Wildcats.
You can even tell everybody's a little bit feistier here towards the end of the match. 1-0, it's going to be a...
You can certainly feel that sense of urgency here as we close in on 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, the tension here. And this is more of what we saw from ACU. A little build-up through the midfield, combinations playing off of each other and then creating the overloads out wide. But earlier they would go out wide and get in deep. Here it's just forcing a little bit too early.
Fortune will milk some clock here before she punts it back into play.
It'd be interesting to see how many headers Bailey Simon has won tonight. You can tell why Coach Salas was so high on her, and while she doesn't maybe get all the stats and the accolades and the credit, but how important she is to what he's trying to do here this season.
Foul on the Aggies, free kick for the Wildcats.
And New Mexico State's dropping super deep, so that's going to create more space underneath. It's just how ACU is going to try to exploit that space. Are they going to go big first and then come back to it, or are they going to try to work their way through it slowly and then exploit the space in between? But if they keep dropping off, either midfielders from New Mexico State are going to have to drop off even more, or they're just going to get, is that the penalty?
There's Briscoe with a foul call in the box.
She takes the player 1v1, gets in the box. That may have been the first time tonight we've seen somebody really trying to go there.
And great speed, dribbles through defenders, able to get contact and the foul. And a PK opportunity here for ACU.
I don't see any way. You're not arguing that one. Defender stepped in a little bit late there. Credit to Briscoe for not losing confidence, taking players on 1v1 tonight.
It's KK Abrenica to take the penalty kick versus Carol Ann LaFortune.
This is how she scored last week.
Abrenica, yeah, already one goal against Jackson State, did it the exact same way. She'll try to replicate it here in the second match of the year and try to tie us with less than 10 minutes to go. Abrenica the approach and the PK. And LaFortune gets the save, far post. Guest right makes the save on a dive, keeps this game 1-0. Beautiful save, LaFortune.
Everybody's going to look at her hands. Look at her feet. Look how she moves so well and explodes. That's the difference between just standing still and diving. That allows her to get her hands on it. Absolutely incredible from the goalkeeper.
You can see the shuffle of the feet to the right. You have to make the guess really before the kick, and she guessed right instinctively and covered the far post down low and guessed right and made a tremendous save.
Absolutely, absolutely. And loaded well and just exploded and got, I mean, that wasn't a bad penalty. Like, absolutely, she put it in the side netting. Normally, 8 times out of 10 that's going in, but credit to Carol Ann there on a massive save, and it keeps the lead for the Aggies.
Well, it's certainly the best opportunity that the Wildcats have had tonight, the PK.
So we have a stoppage of time because within the final 15 minutes, if the leading team is subbing, we will stop the clock. So if ACU were to sub here, the clock would keep going, but New Mexico State subs, we're not stopping the clock. All right, we're stopping the clock.
You can see the subs coming in here. And Millie Eric is coming back in. Also, Aaliyah Anderson, one final push here in the last 10 minutes for the Wildcats.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of changes both coaches make. Are they going to start throwing more numbers up there?
Miller far side and loses possession.
Now they're on transition here for New Mexico State.
Some room to run here. Eric gets out of traffic.
Tired legs there, tired.
Throw in for the Wildcats near sideline.
Credit to Coach Bartz. I know he talked about wanting to instill a culture of grit into his team has been feisty. They have fight all along. You can tell they have big goals. And while the first half wasn't the way they would want to play, the second half is. But regardless, they're challenging. They're still in this. And this kind of heat with 8 minutes left, they're not backing off one bit. They're going to keep going.
Push down into ACU's into the field. Medrano will punt back across the midfield line. Header won by Abrenica.
And this is going to be the maturation of an ACU team. You know, you go down 1-0, it's at home. You just had a penalty kick saved against you. You gave up a penalty that you thought was maybe questionable. But with 8 minutes left, can you find your composure? You're going to get chances. You've had them tonight. Now can you find the back of the net with one? But here's that open game that we kind of talked about.
Much more space here now on the attacking end for New Mexico State. So here comes Arenas, who scored the PK goal. Has a chance to square one up here, blocked away by the defender.
That was dangerous.
Yeah. Great job, Gracie Kelly.
Look at her go off to the right. Gracie Kelly, oh, wow. Just outstretched legs there, makes an incredible block. I think Bella might have had it. Her position was fantastic as well, but that's dangerous. And 2-0 might end this game a little bit too early.
To set up a corner here, another corner opportunity for Floriano, the 5'5" senior, one of those 9 Texas natives from El Paso. The header, far post. ACU will run it down here. That's Miller in this near corner.
You wonder, you know, for Coach Solis, he talked about 2 players he was missing tonight that'll be back soon, and what kind of difference that they would make.
Nia Leslie, haven't seen her much here in the second half, but she is now in here for this final push the last 7 minutes. Played the majority of the first half. Near sideline. Here's Eric. And
there's a yellow card here.
Yellow card. Yes, we are. Yellow card on Millie Eric. Second yellow card on the Aggies tonight.
It looks like he's about to give a double yellow. He had one earlier that he's been saving for a stoppage. So 25, and I think that's 26 as
Arenas and Eric both with the yellow card. Six and a half minutes remaining tonight. Wildcats trying to stay unblemished. Aggies look for their first win of the year. Here's Miller in the near corner, centers it up, and cleared by the Aggies.
You saw the pace here that Charlie Smith has that Coach Solis talked about, and wondered, you know, what she can do to create more opportunities even going forward, even from the back line. So that was a great dribble. She creates a great cross or a great service on a diagonal ball, but just unfortunate to not get on the end of it for ACU.
A handball here by the Wildcats and Miller. Free kick here for the Aggies.
You know, this has been one of the opportunities ACU has been the most dangerous from, is from a free kick, a goal kick from New Mexico State, and they win it and they go. This time they just didn't collect the second ball, and Arenas gets it.
Leslie with possession, far sideline. And now a good look from long distance away. It's wide on the near post, but it's a pretty good look for Eva Martin.
Credit to Medrano, too, for having that covered. So another sub. We'll stop the clock here. New Mexico State's bringing in a player. ACU's bringing in a player. So everybody catch their breath real quick. We got the final 5 to go. ACU's going to have to maybe start forcing it a little bit more, put some numbers up top as well, which is just going to open the game. Even that, but this is what they want. Oh, she's
There's
in.
a run out. Briscoe was able to get a foot on it, create some space, but LaFortune wins the race to the free ball.
She was off her line. She was ready for it. Starting 20 yards out there, that sure helped, even though Briscoe got a great touch on it.
Under 5 minutes we go. Medrano back to the midfield line.
So this is where Coach Bartz talked last week. Mental lapses, you can start to see as they get tired, as they go, what's going to happen, because this is where your mental focus has got to be really pay attention, because your heat has drained you, right? And so who can stay involved and engaged for the next 5 minutes and not let that little one slip that you might kick yourself for later.
We're starting to see some wear and tear on the attack here of ACU. Briscoe had some contact on that last ball and was slow to move there. Is the same thing for Raylan Miller, a little slow after that last attack. Top of the box, just over the head of Floriano.
Free kick for ACU. You know, don't discount, if ACU can get a free kick around midfield, Bella is a weapon. And she can serve a ball 60, 70 yards, get into the box for ACU. So I would like to tell you, there's no free kick that's too far for her.
Another free kick here after the offside. The offside on Dalgard. Briscoe.
That's a lot of maturity there. Most freshmen you're going to see flick a ball on there, not bring it down, but Briscoe goes, brings the ball down, allows ACU to create and set up an opportunity here. But it's player to watch versus player to watch.
She'll challenge Cabot, far side. Now not much room to work with on a double team.
And Cabot comes out again.
Cabot gets possession, keeps it inside the far sideline. So we've gone under 3 minutes.
As I say, I wonder what New Mexico State's saying here. Is he sending his players up to press, or he's telling them to hold back and stay tight? But there's still some space in between the line. Leslie gets in, and Cabot once again. She is impressive. She is impressive.
She has shut down that left side of the offensive attack for the Wildcats all night long now.
There's going to be a free kick.
Yeah. Foul here on the Aggies, and that free kick. It's Coppinger was knocked to the ground.
Credit to Audrey there, staying composed, winning a free kick, and it could be a dangerous situation.
So foul on Arenas.
You see, trying to use some width early. There's the numbers up that they want. Now can Nia Leslie run at him? Great job.
Briscoe will drop it off. Leslie, far side of the box. First shot deflected. Back to Briscoe. Briscoe. And now Leslie. Leslie will put it on net.
What a save.
LaFortune there again.
I feel like we've said the same players over and over, but they have played extremely well. Credit to Nia Leslie there, because she drew Marley out, and that's the first time we've seen them draw Marley out, which created the space in behind, which allowed ACU to get behind her, which is the first time tonight. We got a minute left though.
Maybe two more push for ACU in this last 60 seconds. An Esme Arenas penalty kick goal, 15 minutes deep in the second half.
Addie Briscoe's in.
And here's Briscoe, one-on-one.
Wow.
And a great defensive stop.
Oh, my goodness.
And a clear by the Aggies one more time.
What a play by Gabby Hislop. What an absolute, I mean, that is a veteran move from the junior right there. To not panic, not foul from behind, and give up a red and a PK, and to make a tackle. Probably a game saving right there. Instead of a draw now, they'll keep the lead.
Aggies are content to kill time by pushing out of bounds here. 30 seconds remaining. Top of the box, Simon a header. Leslie now with possession. Far side with the left foot. A corner opportunity for the Wildcats. Corner kick for the Wildcats. Put in top of the box. Abrenica. Near side Coppinger to Briscoe. Contact again in the box with 6 seconds on the clock and another PK opportunity.
Here's an interesting thing that people didn't see, but they stopped the clock.
The clock stopped with 18 seconds.
Whether that was a ref decision or not, that's what we're about to figure out. And Coach Bartz is not happy.
Here's the shot missed that led to the corner.
The referees are discussing this real quick, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, the clock stopped for just a moment in preparation for that corner with 18 seconds left. Was it 6 seconds that it stopped? But there is conversation about that. And that will determine whether or not a penalty kick happens. A yellow card has been given to the New Mexico State bench on the far sideline. It's a difficult situation here for Coach Bartz. He's certainly upset. One, that the clock stopped, and two, that a foul in the box was called here with less than 10 seconds left. But a second penalty kick opportunity for the Wildcats.
And they're going to say it's a penalty.
Second opportunity. Now, Caroline LaFortune made a stop on the first penalty kick opportunity. It's Bailey Simon this time to square it up, the senior.
And another yellow card given to the New Mexico State bench there that we'll see. Just a tough situation for everybody here. You want to see the game, but it happens in errors, and the referees are trying to decide what happens best, but it'll come down to the players making it, right? Bailey Simon steps up to take it.
Simon with 1 goal in her ACU career. A chance for number 2, and this is a big one. A penalty kick with 6 seconds left in our second half clock. Trying to get the Wildcats a draw on what's been a fantastic night of competition between these two squads. Simon the senior, LaFortune the senior. Game on the line on ACU's second PK tonight. Bailey has it squared up. She'll approach, and the kick stopped again by LaFortune. The rebound is cleared. Leslie, a shot and a goal with zeros on the clock. Nia Leslie in the back of the net. There will be conversation about the clock, but Nia Leslie on the rebound after a second LaFortune save on a penalty kick opportunity. Nia Leslie the rebound, and if it stands, it's a 1-1 draw. Got the kick. There will be conversation if it stands.
Because no, they're gonna be no goal.
No goal for Nia Leslie.
Time ran out.
It came after zeros on the clock. And a second penalty kick save by Caroline LaFortune with 6 seconds left. And after zeros on the clock, no goal for the Wildcats. New Mexico State a 1-0 win.
Another great save. It's bouncing around there. She has a great finish. It just looks like ACU just ran out of time there. So after 2 clock discrepancies, the refs having to do what they've got to do.
And no replay opportunities, I don't think, here tonight. But with that said, we go back to the penalty kick at 18 seconds left, and the clock did stop at 18 seconds.
Yep.
So in all reality, ACU was already granted a few extra seconds. LaFortune the save, it leads to New Mexico State's first ever victory here in Abilene. And a 1-0 win in dramatic fashion. Caroline LaFortune, a clean sheet tonight. She'll brag about this one for a long, long time. We'll wrap things up on the other side as the Aggies beat the Wildcats 1-0 tonight. Tonight, New Mexico State hangs on a 1-0 win. Caroline LaFortune, a save of a penalty kick with 6 seconds remaining. And the rebound shot by Nia Leslie finds the back of the net. But after the clock hits 0:00. New Mexico State, they get their first win of the year, 1-0. Andy Penny alongside Charles Nobles. It was the storyline tonight was penalty kicks. The one penalty kick for New Mexico State. Esme Arenas finds the back of the net. ACU 2 penalty kick opportunities tonight. LaFortune 2 big saves.
Yeah, absolutely. What a high intensity match between both teams. I think both teams played as much as they possibly gave everything they could. They should both walk off with their heads held high, and they're both going to use lessons from tonight that's going to really help them for the rest of the season, and that's when it's going to matter the most.
It was a tale of two halves. As you can see, ACU collectively 23 shots, 11 of those on goal, compared to just 9 shots for New Mexico State. Mexico State had a little barrage of offense there the first 15 minutes of the second half, and it proved to be the difference. They get the foul in the box. Arenas gets the penalty kick in the 65th minute. They play great defense down the stretch, good goaltending down the stretch. They get out of Abilene with the 1-0 win.
Absolutely. Credit Coach Bartz, credit to his girls. They made the halftime adjustments, as you said. They came out, they get a goal to cap off a good 25 minutes of control that they had. ACU had a lot of quality chances, and this is the next step for them, is to figure out how to put the ball in the back of the net. But there's a lot of great things from both teams that we saw tonight. Both teams are going to be successful this year if they use this to grow on.
We take a look at the highlights from tonight again, as the Wildcats double the amount of kicks, but again, it goes the way of right here. There's the difference. Esme Arenas with the goal, and they get the 1-0 win. Kudos again. Carol Ann LaFortune tonight, a clean sheet, and she gets the 1-0 win for the Wildcats. Both teams are back in action this weekend. ACU plays host to UTEP, New Mexico State with Long Beach State. Hey, this has been a presentation of the United Athletic Conference here on ESPN+. All games are airing live. They're streaming on the ESPN app. For the entire team, Charles Nobles and the ACUTV crew, led by Tyler Hatfield, I'm Andy Penny. Until next time, take care. Good night from Abilene.